What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again for the review from Nottingham Forest's fantastic win in the FA Cup against Cardiff. I thought, let me talk about it. What a win! We're through to the next round, and it was a great win against a team that you do struggle at home, but we won. I've got two Forest fans' opinions as well. I've got my usual Des as well, and I've got another special guest. And you've not seen him on YouTube, and I'm going to slag him off as much as I can because he's slacking as usual, and I'm going to get on him. As everyone knows, if no one knows who he is, it's Jack Pugsley. He's the young'un, and he's slacking. So people give him grief because he deserves it. Because he's just like me, a YouTuber. But I am going to give him grief, like always. But we're going to talk about the games today. And before we do start, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and I get in both Des and Jack. Hello, ladies and gents.
How's it going?
Which one's the lady?
I'll say Jack because he deserves all the hate.
I was expecting this. I was expecting this, Steve. So time for dinner.
So, how's everyone doing about this? After a fantastic win, I'll start you, Des. How you feeling?
I'm good. I was out celebrating with a walk and managed to bump into you along the river, so I got hooked into this again on a Saturday night. So.
I wanted your autograph, Des. That's all it was.
Any chance to talk about it, Ben? Of course. They're not coming along very thick and fast, are they? So we'll revel in it for the time being, won't we?
Yeah. But yeah, we're through to the FA Cup, fourth round. How do you think the performance was?
Oh, it was okay. You know, we've been talking a lot in the last couple of weeks about just getting results on the board, haven't we? And I think that was the most important thing. You know, I was going to say 3 points then, but it's the FA Cup, isn't it? It's just about getting wins, getting some wins, getting some confidence going. You know, they put some of the wins players in, the players who've been on the bench for the last couple of weeks. So I think it's important to get everybody sort of positive, in the right frame of mind, and when them players need to be called upon, I'm sure some of them will get a chance in the next few weeks that they've got some confidence to go in with, and that's what it's doing, isn't it? 6 games now, we're unbeaten, and we're not conceding many goals, which I think is more important than the wins. You know, we've shored up a bit, cut out the mistakes, and today, if the game we played today was 3-4 weeks ago, we'd have got beat because we was under pressure for large spells. We was up against it in the second half, but we come through with another win, didn't we? And that's kind of all that matters.
Jack, as you know, Bong, he's been under fire for quite a lot of Forest fans. I don't know if you have.
Yeah.
The fantastic game today. Do you think he should give him another start in front of Ribeiro?
Well, yeah, like you said, when he first signed last season against Charlton, that debut was one of the worst debuts I think I've seen. Him on the left, Jenkinson on the right, it wasn't good at all. But today he shone, and he definitely, in my opinion, has potential to break into the first team. I still don't understand why we got rid of Ionu. I feel like we should have kept him. I feel like left back, obviously we've got Ribeiro now, but all of a sudden Bong's back into the picture. But I feel like Ionu could have played a big part. But yeah, getting back to Bong, really positive performance today. Definitely shocked a lot of Forest fans with how he's played today. I don't think any Forest fan, when they saw Bong on the team sheet, think he'd get an assist today, and play some decent stuff. So yeah, really happy with Bong today. And like I said, surprised, shocked with how he played. And he could potentially, I don't know what you guys think, but could potentially get in ahead of Ribeiro maybe. I do like Ribeiro, but I don't know. I don't know if Bong's good enough. I think Ribeiro is a good player on his day, but he can be caught lacking at times. But yeah, we'll have to see. Bong played very well today, so positive. Positive.
Des, as you know, McKenna and Worrell was centre back choice today over Figueiredo, Dawson, and Membisal. Do you think that's the way forward now? Them two as partnership.
Definitely. I think again, when we've spoken before, we ultimately long term, we see them two as the partnership. You know, they both look solid. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Worrell stays. That's going to be the key thing in all that. I wonder, sometimes, I don't know, but I wonder if that's the perseverance with Figueiredo and the reluctance to let him leave, earlier in the season, whether they're realising that Worrell is on his way. But I think we'd all sort of say, I think any Forest fan who's watched anything this season would say when Worrell and McKenna are the standout defenders, and today, in particular, first time, I'm not sure it's the first time they played together, but they played together today, and we've come under a lot of pressure.
It's the second time they played.
Yeah, but today, especially, obviously, it's fresh in the mind. They've come under a lot of pressure, and they've dealt with it. They've dealt with everything. I think looking through Twitter earlier, everyone's man of the match was either McKenna or Worrell. Saying how solid they've been, and like I said before, we've kept another clean sheet. So it was the area that I felt we was really lacking earlier in the season. The mistakes, it was Figueiredo, it was Ribeiro, it was Samba, and all of a sudden it seems like we've shored up. We've got the players, everybody's fit, which is important, because again it keeps people on the toes and keeps them thinking about what they're doing a bit more. So yeah, definitely. Them two, if we get to the end of January and them two are still there, I'd be more than confident of staying up first and foremost, but pushing up the table a little bit as well.
Jack, as you know, Taylor scored today. Grabban scored last week. In your opinion, who would you be your number one choice? Strike as number 9.
It's a tough question. Both of them are very good strikers in the Championship, especially. Big fan of Taylor. When we signed him, I was buzzing with it. Yeah, really, one of the most excited I've been for a signing in a long time. I was a big fan of him at Charlton, at the City ground last year. He absolutely destroyed us, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Grabban, love Grabban. Think he's a great striker. Obviously, he can be quite inconsistent, but he does play a big part. He shouldn't be captain though. I disagree that he's a captain.
Yeah, I'll get back to you later on about that. I'll get back to you later on about it.
Yeah, but he's a top striker. I love his arrogance. I love how he is. Both of them are brilliant. And you'd think to play both of them up top would probably be the best way. But Derby at home this season, we saw the two up top, and we really, really struggled. Derby were all over us. So it is tough. In my opinion, I do prefer Taylor. I think he fits this kind of system under Houghton, where you see the strikers can be quite isolated, and Taylor can run back on his midfielders, on his defence, which is more than what Grabban does when it comes to the work rate, in my opinion. But it's tough. It's such a tough question. But for me, I'd say Taylor. But we'll have to wait and see. Grabban, he's come back and he's been playing well. Hopefully it continues. But yeah, whatever Houghton decides, obviously he's been tossing and changing between the two strikers. So we'll have to see. Really, we'll have to see.
Des, Jordan Smith came back in goal today. How do you think he played today?
He played okay. I've stated before again that I rate Jordan Smith. I like him. I think he was
replacing Samba though. Replacing Samba?
No, I don't. I know I've stated that as well, Ben. I don't think he replaced Samba, but I think he was harshly treated when he was in the first team before. Warburton put him under a lot of pressure, asking him to play the way he played. He wanted him passing it out from the back and things like that. A young keeper don't need that kind of hassle, and he made some worldies we've seen, and the one that effectively kept us up, it go down in sort of folklore a little bit. So I just think he was harshly treated. I think he's probably had a few more years to settle down, and sort of he was pushed into the first team initially, weren't he? So he had that few more years, and if he does have to come in, I wouldn't drop Samba. I do like Samba as well, but if he does have to come in now, I think he'd be a lot more prepared, a lot more confident, much more confident, and just might perform a lot better than he did towards the end of his first spell.
Are you a fan of Smith, Pogba? Yes or no?
Yeah. He's not amazing. I don't think he should be starting, and Samba is ahead of him by quite a bit. But like you were saying, Des, that save against Ipswich on the final day of the season practically kept us in the league. And again, agreeing with what Des said, he came into a team under Mark Warburton where you had to play defensive football. The football was just playing out from the back. It was really fast and not good for a young keeper making his pretty much his first debut season. So it wasn't suited to him. And obviously he came back against Wickham. I think it was 2 years ago now. Got a red card on his first game back.
He did, yeah.
that didn't help him, did it? It really didn't help him. He had a stinker, to be fair. But listen, he's a good keeper. And again, agreeing with what Des said for the third time, if he came back, he would be a lot more prepared. But I still think Samba should be on number one. But it's good to know we have a decent backup for once, really. So yeah.
Des, Cafu played I think he played as a deep role today, and I think it was the end of the last 30 minutes he played as number 10. Where do you think he's better played, as more defensive or number 10?
Where does Cafu play? That could be an old.
That's the thing. He played defensive. He played in number 10. Like I was baffled. Like he played great as number 10, but to be fair, he wasn't bad in that role next to Arthur. So
no, and to answer your question, I think that I think he's probably better a bit further forward. We're still not sure what his role is in the team.
Exactly.
But I think
like Ben Osborne. He's like a Ben Osborne.
Yeah, versatile.
Not quite so versatile as Ben Osborne, but what he has done in the past couple of weeks, he's been in and around the action. So when we've got a penalty, I think he assisted Ribeiro in the Sheffield Wednesday game. So he can sort of contribute in that sense where he can be part of the attacking setup. I think in the sort of slow build-up we've got at the moment, he's useful. I think if we had a Billy Davies team with the two fast wingers, Anderson and Tyson or whoever bombing down the wing, I think the game would bypass him a little bit. But because it's quite slow, he does get the ball and he turns and goes with it. I've noticed he's one of the only players in the team who runs forward with the ball. Surprisingly, with the players we've got, that doesn't happen very often anymore. So I think the further up the pitch we can get him, the more impact he's going to have in the game. He didn't do too bad again. There was nothing to sort of criticise of him today, but he kind of becomes a bit more of a passenger when he gets a bit deeper.
Two players that Forest fans been telling to start, like people like Mighton, member Bissau. They didn't start again. Jack, do you think it's time for Mighton to get a start in the league?
To be fair, I think they should have started today for sure. That Mobesso, he's got to be wondering why he came here. PSG defender. I think he played cup games for PSG with the likes of Neymar, for God's sake, and Mbappe at times. And I think this move, in hindsight, probably wasn't the right choice. And he should be playing. He's a top defender. He's got a lot of potential. Future France international. It's not working for him. He needs to be getting first team football. I could see him going in the summer. I can't see him staying here wanting to stay on the bench. Neither will his agent. So with Mighton as well, another young great prospect. What is he? 18, 19.
Yeah.
That Chelsea performance last year away was just ever since then you've got to look at the guy and think, wow, he's got potential. I think they both should have started today. Mobesso should be starting week in, week out for me, but Mighton definitely should have started today, and should be a player that Houghton brings on. Houghton is very picky with his substitution. Sometimes he'll make one a game, sometimes he'll make three, sometimes he'll make none. Or until the 89th minute when it's too late. I'm not sure about his decisions at times with the team. But yeah, in my opinion, So and Mighton do need a lot more game time. And like I said, Mobesso, he won't be happy at the moment with his game time. So yeah.
Des, as you know, Cardiff they had loads of the ball today. I can't remember Cardiff having a good chance. Do you think Houghton would be happy the way Forest played today, or could have been a little bit better?
He's I actually caught the interview after the game. I read on in the background, and he said that he was kind of happy, but we need to play a bit more on the front foot. We need to get the attacking side of things right. We've got an early goal again, and you asked me last week what I thought the score would be. I said I think we score early and win 1-0, or it would be a late goal for Cardiff and we get beat 1-0. And I think that's really important, isn't it? Because now we've shored up the defence a little bit, and Houghton's made the point himself. He says he's happy with the performance. Of course, he's happy with the win. I'm sure he's going to be as disappointed with anyone with his stats at the moment as the manager. But he wasn't too impressed. there is options there. You just talked about Alex Myton, and everybody's crying out for it. We've seen him do well. We've seen him come in and make an impact in the Chelsea game, and then the goal he scored this year. So I think with Myton, it's that thing, isn't it? You got me on this today, Ben, because you wanted an old one and a young one. And I remember Roy Keane. He was 19. Brian Clough just threw him in. He didn't even tell him. And Mark Buckley as well. They just got thrown into the team and they were told to go and do it. And I think I said to you before, Myton probably needs 5 or 6 games, and then we can judge him properly. Then as fans, we'll stop shouting for him. We'll stop the clamour if he's not doing the business. 5 or 6 games, if he scores 3 goals, then we've got a bit of a star on our hands, haven't we?
Yeah. Right, so like I said, we beat Cardiff in the FA Cup. People in the comments, who do you want in the FA Cup? I'm going to ask Jack and Des who they want. So people put in the comments below, who would you want in the FA Cup 4th round? So let me ask you, Jack, who do you want for us in the next round?
Well,
I know we can't go to game, but who do you want? Home or away?
That's what I was going to say. Without fans being there, it's almost a bit flat. Just a question: if Man United played Watford tonight, and if they have, what would the score?
No, they're playing now. They're playing now.
So let's say if Man United win, Man United away would be a. Actually, to be fair, as we can't go, I'd rather have someone like Chorley at home, who Derby, struggled against today. So
Man U winning 1-0.
Yeah, we'll switch it. Instead of going for Man United away, because we can't go or anything, let's go for Chorley at home. we can do
Chorley away.
Chorley, yeah, we'll go to their place with our under 18s or 17s or 16s. We'll have to see. But yeah, Chorley away or home. I don't want a tough one because obviously it's not the same.
Des, who do you fancy 4th round?
I agree with Jack on this one. It doesn't really matter, does it? I think because there's still plenty of teams left in the cup, and we're not guaranteed the opportunity to pit our wits against a bigger team. I'd go for Chorley, just so we've got a better chance in the round after getting a better game. We could almost get another Cardiff. Everybody like when Cardiff came out, was like,
I was as well.
Haven't we? And they always beat us, and it's a bit of a like when we got Hull last year. Oh God, we've got Hull. And it's that kind of thing. So I think if we can get Chorley, and then the further you get into the competition, you've got a better chance of getting one of the real big boys. One team I don't want anymore. I used to beg for them every time was Arsenal, but we've played them too many times now.
No, Chelsea. We played Chelsea too many times. I don't want Chelsea.
Yeah. 3 times I've been to their place.
Me too, Jack. And I hate the place. I'm not going again.
I don't want to go back.
Yeah. To my opinion, like I said, if Forest get Liverpool away, I will smash my laptop. That's how I feel, because I always wanted to play Liverpool away. I want to go to the ground. I know you've been to the ground, Des. How many times have you been to Liverpool?
Twice, I think. We've been stuffed both times.
Oh, great.
And conceded 4 and 5. Michael Owen got 4 one day.
Oh, don't mention that. I remember that game. Oh,
and I was talking to you earlier when we was out and about, and I can't stand going to Liverpool because I know there's stuffers, and just watching the faces every time a goal goes in would just kill me. If we can get them at home and beat them one day, that'll do me.
Like I said, I don't know. I prefer. I don't know. You know what, Chorley away. That would do.
All 3 of us going for Chorley.
Oh, yeah. I want Chorley. People in the comments, what do you fancy? But yeah, right. Next question. I'll start with you, Jack. Transfer window's open. As you know, Forest brought 14 players in.
Mm-hmm.
What players do you think needs to go, and what players do you think need to come in?
Okay, so I think, obviously, I know the league table doesn't look healthy right now for us, but the players we've got, I think with a bit more time of gelling together, I was saying the other day, with COVID, it's obviously been very hard to bring 14 new faces in, and they can't interact as well. They can't go for meals with each other. The team aren't gelling as well as they normally would in a normal season. So, in my opinion, I think we've got to look at offloading players, not the likes of Ionu. I think that was a really weird move by the club again. But there's a lot of players that do need to go, and I think we need to look at offloading players before we bring in players. To be fair, I can't think of anyone in particular that needs to go, but there's definitely a few players that are robbing a living at the club right now, and we could get them gone, get them off the wage bill, or bring in somebody for cheaper, more experienced, better player. But it is hard. Obviously, that summer we had it felt really good. If you told me we were going to bring in Harry Arter, Anthony Kanaka, Lyle there, I would have said we're going up, top two, we're going up. But it hasn't really worked out so far, has it? It really hasn't worked out. So yeah, I think we need to offload more than bring anyone in. To be fair, because you look at our team on paper and you can't say that's not a good side.
We've got a great side. That's the problem. We've got a fantastic side on paper.
The best side we've had. I think we need 2 new wingers. I think Lolly and Amiobi aren't on there, especially Lolly. Lolly hasn't been on it for a while now. 2 new wingers for me would do the job. Yeah, I think we're sorted in defence. To be fair, I think a new right back is vital. I don't rate Christie. To be fair, I mean, obviously I know we had Matty Cash last year, who was 5 times a player, 10 times a player.
He's not a right back. He's not a right back.
Winger. Would you put him on wing?
Who's Cash?
Oh, you're on about Cash, aren't you? Sorry,
Cash is not a right back.
Yeah. Nobody's said that. Play the clip every year on Instagram. But yeah, there's definitely like a right back, wingers, and yeah, like I said, we need to offload more than bring in. So yeah.
Well, what about you, Des? What players do you think need to leave? What players need to go?
Well, there's all the obvious ones to leave, isn't there? Heffeler, Clough, whether they do or not is another thing. But again, I'm inclined to agree with that. I think we need to offload more players than we sign. I don't think we'll go down. I've stated that before. I think I don't want to count my chickens, but I think we've turned the corner just by the fact we've got solid all of a sudden. So I think it would be great if Putin could get to the end of the season in a proper transfer market, have trimmed down the squad a little bit, stayed in the championship, and then get his own players in. We know January is the time to go and get your panic buys like Carby and all that.
Oh, don't mention him.
So I just think some of those players. I'm not a fan of Christie either. I'm not a fan of Jenkinson either, to be honest.
Yeah, but what about Dwickwood? They said yesterday they told Dwickwood to go.
Another stupid decision getting.
Yeah, that's why I was just about to say about your opinions. What do you think about being told Dwickwood's been told to leave?
Why would they not give him a go? Why would they not give him a go today, for example? Because there's obviously something going off there, isn't there? What we don't know about. It looked like it was going to be Lamouchi's first choice.
Mm-hmm.
Cash is not a right back, Ben.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Malcolm, that was.
That was Malcolm. To behave.
Yeah, so it would have been worth giving him a go, even if it was one game today, and then to make his mind up. It just seems like he hasn't had the chance to make his mind up, but I don't know. I just think he should have got a chance somewhere.
Right. This is a question for you, Jack. I spoke to Des earlier on about, as you've been a young fan, you've not seen Forest win anything at all. I know that you're active on Twitter as well. Are you? Why are you so frustrated about Forest not winning anything?
Well, obviously, look at like what my dad experienced, what you guys experienced. So what I've experienced is, it's crazy. You've experienced some of the best times as a Forest fan ever in the club's history, and I've experienced. I think the highlight of my. It was a good night. Don't get me wrong, but Forest v Derby 5-2. I think that was the best night of my life. But the nights you experienced compared to that were just crazy. So obviously it's quite tough to see the good days and compared to where we are now. The step down as well is crazy under Cloughie compared to now. And it's taken a lot of time, and we're not even back where we need to be yet. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough to watch and tough to see the good old memories and what you guys got to experience compared to what I'm gonna look back in 20 years' time with my kids and look what I have to see. So hopefully it's better for them. Hopefully it's better for what they can watch compared to what I've been watching for these years. So yeah.
Since I'll sketch you in a minute, Des. Like, since you've been a Forest fan, who's been your best Forest manager?
Best Forest manager for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
One of Des. For you, Jack. You, Jack.
Okay, for me, the best manager in my lifetime has been Billy Davies. When I think of like my first being a young Forest fan, I would think of Billy Davies, and then them days Nathan Tyson, Lewis McGugan, them days. Billy Davies definitely brought me the glory times, you could say, as a Forest fan for me. So yeah. Lamucci wasn't far off, by the way. Lamucci wasn't far off. He did bring us some good times.
That is true. Des, do you feel like on social media, especially Twitter, like the younger fans get frustrated, like of not Forest, not going up to Premiership? Do you feel sorry for them sometimes, or do they go over the top sometimes? Like, we need to get the Premiership. We deserve to get in the Premiership. Do we deserve to be in the Premiership?
Yeah, I think we do. Well, no, we don't deserve to be because we've not done anything to deserve it. But as a size of a club, when someone's Jack said supporting Forest, they have been starved. But remember, there's another 60, 70 clubs who float around League 1 and 2. You know, we have won those things. We've done those things, but we've got no defined right to be there. And unfortunately, we've had people in charge for God knows how long as I can remember. Well, not quite as long as I can remember. But we've had issues with owners since sort of Brian Clough's day, you know, and that's the reason we are where we are. You know, it didn't just start with Flowers. It started a lot longer before that with sort of people giving David Platt money and things like that. But I do feel for them, but on the other hand, you know, I think they're a little bit harsh on what they feel they've missed out on as well. You know, I caught a few cup finals in the late 90s. I've seen a couple of promotions, you know, which and you asked me before you went to Jack about my best Forest manager. I actually caught the end of Brian Clough, only just, even though you said I'm old, Ben. So, but what for me was Dave Bassett in '97.
Yeah.
We're the team that played off the front foot. Jack quite rightly pointed out Billy Davies, you know, Paul Hart,
Frank Clark.
You know, all those managers was. I think they got Forest. I think they got the fact we're a big club. I think some of these managers come in and just sort of. I think I wasn't a fan of Calderwood and McLeish and all them kind of people. They just kind of like, well, this is the way we play. This is the way we're going to do it. Start embracing what's going on around the place. You know, the fact that we have done these things, tap into it, encourage the kids. The club does a bit of work to sort of get the kids remember them, and I know they get flack for it from people's Jack's age. They get the flack for saying, "Oh, you old dinosaur, stop living in the past." But the reality is that you are where you are because that's what you have to be, you know. And they'll get that one day. We will get there. The thing is with Forest, it all boils down to the way the club's run, doesn't it? Because if Forest want a player and Wickham want a player in the same league, Forest win every day. We touched on there about Lyle Taylor. Apparently, we was competing with Celtic and Rangers for Lyle Taylor. You know, because of where we finished last year, Lyle Taylor possibly thought, I've got a crack at the Premier League next year. You know, so it shows us we can compete. So it's just about getting it right, getting proper people in there who are going to sort of make the big decision to get us there.
Jack, as you know, like I said, basically all the Forest players have not performed so far this year. Who's been your player that's stood up for you this season so far?
Positively,
yeah. Positively and negative.
I'm just trying to think. This is it's quite tough to think.
People in the comments as well. People, who do you think?
Let me think about it. Let's see what Des says. Let me just think about this.
Des, who do you think? Who's been your player of the season so far?
Not quite the season so far, but I think Cafu has been a surprise because he was one of them signings who we thought would just pass through the club and disappear.
Yeah.
So I'm pleasantly surprised with Cafu. Obviously, slightly the one I'm really, really disappointed with is Ariarta.
Yeah, 100%.
you know,
100%.
and even Knockout to some degree, but especially Arta, you know. When it comes to sort of, we ain't had much positive, have we? Do you know, Ribeiro coming back in, even Figueiredo getting back on form, do you know, in the last few games, that's good to see, isn't it? Because we know he's a good player. We know he can do the business with Worrell, and seeing that defence sort of reform the way it is, you know, I'd have hoped a bit more from Christie. I wasn't a fan before he came, but I thought he's been in promoted teams. I must have missed something along the way. And he's disappointed again. So I think overall, it's a feeling of being a little underwhelmed, isn't it? You know, we're a bit gutted by the way some of them didn't turn out. I'm a massive fan of Taylor, but I just think they're playing all wrong. The build-up's too slow. You know, they're playing. I think back to when we had Marcus Tudgay.
Yeah.
Under Billy Davis, when Marcus Tudgay was in front of goal, it was one of the best finishes you've ever seen. Again, with those fast wingers, the quick game, turning round under Steve Cottle when he had to chase his own rubbish, you know, we didn't score in 10 games. He couldn't hit Carl Larson or that, you know. And I think Lyle Taylor's the same. Get him facing goal, turn him around completely, get some balls into him, he's going to stick it away. He had 2 chances against Forest last year, one in each game, and he scored 2 goals. That's why I was excited, because I thought he's clinical. And again, he's not quite lived up to that expectation. He's an impressive guy when he talks, when he does what he does, like some of the things he does in his personal life. Fantastic. I like the guy, and I think hopefully it all comes well. But he's just not quite cut it just yet, has he?
No. Jack, go on.
Yeah, I've thought, and it's quite different for me. My dad's not a fan of him, and neither was I last season, to be fair. But Ryan Yates, I think he's been quite consistent this year. I'm not Yates.
You know what?
When people rate him, I'm not there. But sorry, carry on.
No. When you said Ryan Yates, me personally, I think Ryan Yates has been, and like I said, there's going to be people's going to disagree with me on it with comments about this. I think Ryan Yates has been one of the top players that's cared about Forest this season.
Yeah, definitely. The rest don't show any care in my opinion.
They don't care, because you mentioned it about the COVID thing, like these players are not bonding with each other as they can. But Ryan Yates, him, Joe Worrell, they've come from the academy, and they know what the fans want. So personally, like Ryan Yates, he's been my player this season so far. But carry on, Jack.
Yeah, like I said, I've never been a Ryan Yates fanboy, to be fair. But I think he's been the most consistent. He definitely shows the most fight. I think Taylor, shows that he cares at times, and I think there's, Worrell obviously having a moan at Grabham for what he did at Stoke and everything like that. And I think there's passion in the team, but Yates especially, I think he's been playing decent, and he's also a good talker. But we have to forget the team aren't playing as well as they should be. As in general, you think Knockout would be performing better than Ryan Yates, but Yates has done a good job this season. Hopefully he keeps it up. Also, obviously, I know he came back today, but McKenna, I was a big fan of him when he came in. His debut in Field, big fan of him, good centre back, and I think him and Mobesso, or him and Worrell, I don't know which pairing, but in my opinion, him and Mobesso would be a beastly partnership at the back, and hopefully he gets more chance to prove himself this season, and hopefully he can remain fit. But for me, Ryan Yates has been probably the best player of the season so far. I can't believe I've said that, but yeah.
I think if Worrell did leave, I would give the captain's armband straight to Ryan Yates. A bit like Chelsea did with John Terry. Whatever opinions you've got on John Terry, they gave him the captain's armband when he was young, and it just helped him no end. A bit like when Beckham got it to England. Nobody saw him as captain material, but then he became this. He just excelled as a player, and I think Ryan Yates could be exactly the same. With that responsibility, I think he would thrive on it and become an even better player.
Jack, are you happy with Chris Hughton so far since he's been appointed as Forest manager?
I'm gonna be honest. I do back the guy, and I think he's a good manager. But I don't think it was 100% the right appointment. I think we should have gone a different way to what we did with Martin O'Neill, Sabri Lamucci, now Chris Hughton. I'm not saying they're all defensive, but we don't see the most exciting football, and sometimes exciting football can be the best way to play, you know, and obviously boring football can be a good way to play as well. But when he first came in, I was a fan. I thought we were showing improvements from under Lamucci. Then we had that little spell where we went down. But I think slowly the players are trusting him, and he's trusting the players as well. He doesn't like to get excited or overreact, which is obviously hard due to COVID and no fans. But you know, we're seeing improvements from that little drop we had. And I think it will come good. I do back Houghton. Like I said, I don't think he was the perfect appointment compared to what we could have got. But I do see potential, and I do see him being a man to give us a bit of stability. Obviously, the football won't be the most exciting. But at the end of the day, he's what is it, 6 unbeaten now? Is it something like that? So
yeah,
it's an improvement, and I think, like I said, the players are adapting to him, and he's adapting to the players. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, we'll give him time. Hopefully, Forest can hopefully do that this year. Give the manager time, and we can see where it goes. But yeah.
There's like I said, with Houghton, like I said, he's not. Jack was saying he doesn't play exciting football as he is. Like today, I think he was Forest on the back foot as much as today. I think Cardiff had like 60% of possession. Yeah. Do you think after today's win, do you think that's the way forward from now to the end of the season, or do you think he needs to change it?
I don't think they need to change him. If I'm completely honest, I lack a bit of inspiration with him sometimes. You know, I'm perhaps old-fashioned. I want somebody in there throwing cups about when it's not going right. But you know, because I think all them players need sometimes is a bit of motivating. You know, a bit of sort of. Look, we talk about Ryan Yates being captain material. You know, pulling everyone together. You know, and I think in no way, shape, or form should we get rid of him. And if he keeps us up this season, he deserves a captain next season because we was in a bad way. You know, especially if we don't do much business in January. But it wasn't my choice. But I definitely, what we've got to do, Ben, is stick with managers, isn't it? We've got to stick with somebody, you know, and let them see their plan out. There's no point changing again in the summer. You know, bringing in another 5 or 6 players on top of a big squad already. You know, then you've got all the problems that come with sort of people being left out, not getting along, COVID still around us, isn't it? You know, those things are still lingering on. So it's working right now. If we'd have not got any results in the last 6 games, it would have had to go. Because that's just the way football is. That's not me saying it, that's the way football is. But if he keeps us up and he keeps us up comfortably and we're still in the situation, why not let him have a stab at it when everything gets back to normal and we've got some sort of excitement again.
Right, 2 more questions. I think I've mentioned this to you, Des, about where do you think Forest will finish. Jack, where do you think Forest will finish this season?
Obviously, the start and so far it's not been good enough. I don't think anyone expected it, and it's going to be hard. I don't think top 6 is possible, really. Probably even top 10. We've had such an abysmal start, you know, with the players we've got, with the names we've got. I want to be positive, but I'm going to say 13th.
That's not bad. That's not bad. 13th.
I think that's the highest we can get. I'm trying to be positive, but yeah.
What was yours, Des?
15th.
See I'll take 13th to be fair.
Seeing improvement with Houghton, though, you know, so we'll have to see. But like Des said, I wouldn't be shocked if it was 15th, you know. So yeah.
People in the comments, where do you think Forest will finish it this season? And before Des and Pugsley go, Des, shout out your channel as well before you go.
Yeah, so I do a daily YouTube channel called Do Daily. I've mentioned it on here before. You know,
the link is below, so subscribe to his channel.
I'm into my winning, keeping active, you know, and it's just it's me talking about the way I feel day in, day out about my approach to keeping active, you know, dealing with coronavirus, dealing with everything. From what I've said, people might think it's a bit full on. It really isn't. It's just me talking about when I feel shit, when I feel okay. Do you know what I mean? And it's just relatable stuff, everyday stuff, walking around the river.
It doesn't matter. Content is content. But before I do talk about Jack, I'm going to give some abuse to Jack because people know Jack Pugley is a content creator just like me, and he's slagging, he's struggling, and I'm not happy with Jack because I'm old, and we need the young guys like yourself to keep going.
We've got Max.
No. If people, listen to me, people in the comments. Jack Pugley's channel is below. Subscribe to him. Jack, explain to people why are you not bringing content out? Because I'm sick and tired of seeing other Forest YouTubers doing it. And to be fair, you're good and you've dipped. Talk to everyone about it. Why are you not bringing content out?
So I did match day vlogs. That was my forte. That was what I did. And obviously, if you don't know Ben, we can't go to games right now. So it's very hard, and I don't have the motivation with football in general. To be fair, without fans, without even seeing fans in the stadium itself, football's not the same for me as it was, and it will go back to the same. I'm sure of it whenever that is, 2029, whenever the day comes when we're back in football stadiums. I've just lost motivation with it, but when football is back one day, I should go back into it. I think I will go back into it.
So you are going to be coming back into it then, yeah?
When we go back to games, I think I'll go into it. I think I'll get back into it. But
But like I said, people, like he does what I do. He does vlogs, home away games, and he's really good. And I've got still 2 other Forest fans, who's are okay. But yeah, I know. Like I said, my channel, Jack's channel, we go to vlogs, we go to games, and we vlogs. But at this moment in time, we can't do nothing. And this is why I like doing this kind of stuff, watch-alongs. But I know you don't. When's the last time you uploaded a vlog, Jack?
Well, I did a live stream for when Yates was out. That was the last live stream when Sabri was sacked. 10 minutes later, Houston, and I did a live stream. Did alright, to be fair. And then I don't know what happened. It just lost motivation with it. So hopefully we'll get back into it. We'll see.
So people, Jack's channel's at the bottom, Des' channel's at the bottom. Make sure you do subscribe. Get to Des to 100 subscribers if you can. Just all you do is click it and subscribe. Hopefully, Jack, when we go back to games, we can start vlogging. Because I think that's, like I said, you mentioned it. Sometimes, like I said, I think there's a part of me. Sometimes there's a moment that you think, there's no content you can do out.
Exactly.
So I think, like I said, I think when we do go to games, the vlogs will be back. But Jack and Des, thank you very much for coming on my channel. Who we got next? We've got Millwall next, haven't we?
Millwall, I think, isn't it?
Millwall, girl, for frick's sake. But yeah, Jack and Des, thank you very much for coming on, and make sure you do subscribe to these 2.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Jack. Cheers, Des. Thank you.
Cheers.
Right, so that's Des and Jack. Make sure you do subscribe to him, man. Like Pugley said, like it is like motivation wise. It's we do vlogs, and that's a difficult bit as well. Before I do go, I've got an interview coming up tomorrow. Marlon King, I've got his coming tomorrow. So please watch out for that. That will come out about 9-ish. 9 o'clock that will come out. And as well, I didn't mention it. I'm so excited to say I'm interviewing Alan Rodgers as well. If you don't know who he is, he's a Forest left back. He got promoted onto Dave Bassett. They called him the Tank. So that one as well. I'm pleased to announce I've got Alan Rodgers as well on my channel. So I've got 2 Forest interviews this week. Hopefully Marlon King comes out tomorrow, and Alan Rodgers will come out either next week. So please look out for that one. But yeah, if you are new to my channel, please do hit the subscribe button, like as well. But like I said, both Des and Jack's channels are in below, so please do hit the subscribe button. Please get Des to 100. Like I said, he does different kind of vlogs to what me and Jack do. So he is not a lad as well. So please do hit the subscribe button. question. You doing another quiz, Door? You know what? I might do one this week, to be fair. I might do one. So yeah, I might do a quiz. Yeah, I think I will do one. But yeah, people, thank you for watching this review from the game today. Like I said, the Marlon King interview, that'll be out either tomorrow or Monday night. One of the two. But yeah, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I know people on Facebook as well on my channel. But yeah, thank you for watching, people. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow or Monday with Marlon King interview. Up the Forest.